Hello, it's the Mighty Marvel Show, and I'm Paul. And if you see my last video, which was a Galactus Haslab reveal, what have I got next? Well, there's Galactus. I was going to talk about his Heralds. So we had 3 Heralds, which were the tier unlocks in the last version, and they were Silver Surfer, Frankie Ray Nova, and Morg. And I didn't think we was going to get them all at one point because that Galactus went a bit like that, but let's face it, it's not the Robbie Reyes Haslab. Got all the tiers, so we got all 3. So we're going to take a look at all 3 today. Now I'll introduce them to you one at a time, and we'll see what we think of them. Let's start with Silver Surfer. I mean, it's a figure we've seen before. This will be my 3rd Silver Surfer. So I have the original one of this. A slightly less shiny silver tint to it. So that is quite good to get. It comes with 3 pairs of hands. So it comes with fists, comes with flight hands, and it comes with the splayed hands as well. So that's great. So that's really impressive. And it comes with the purple cosmic power that we're quite familiar with as well with this figure. The really cool thing though is talk about the board. So we've got obviously reissued the Silver Surfer boards, classic we've seen before, but it sits fantastically in this really cool diorama. So there you can see now it slots in nicely in the top there, holds that really firm, so you can have it as far back or as far forward as you want, which is great as well. So that's nice coloration to it, nice skin to it, nice soft pliable as well. And that sits perfectly in Galactus's hand as well, so that's really cool. So that Surfer, I mean, what you'd obviously expect, you know, you've got all the bend and twist and articulation that you want from the Surfer. So that's very cool. And again, that sits perfectly inside Galactus's hand, so you can hold him as the Surfer. So that's a good addition to the I mean, probably kind of expected. And if you've missed out on the Surfer the first time round, great to get him now. And I do really like the look of this one. It's a less shiny sort of silver. Well, it's very silver effect because he's the Silver Surfer. That makes perfect sense. But it has a less of that sort of gloss appearance to it. It was like a spray on the last one. So I really like this version. It's very good. And the joints are a bit loose on my other Silver Surfer because I've had him quite a while now and I've posed him a lot. So this is good to get. So that, very pleased with that Silver Surfer. Frankie Ray Nova. Okay, so let's work on the figure. First of all, I've actually trapped her leg in the fire effect. There we go, put the fire effect down for the moment. So in terms of looking at the figure, the hair is great. I mean, that is a huge amount of flame hair. That's great. Obviously it's very heavy on the head, but it doesn't affect the articulation of the head, so that's good. It is pinless, which is great. A really clean finish to it is great on pinless. Single elbows though, I mean, I kind of expected that, annoyingly. Which is a bit of a shame. And on the knees as well, single knees as well, which is also a shame. I mean, she's probably going to spend more time in flight mode, so you know, the feet back. But that is a shame, to be honest. It's a very simple paint job. Would have maybe like some sort of effect. It's very simple. Maybe a bit of cell shading. Maybe something that would look as if it was actually reflecting off the fire effect from her hair, and certainly the fire effect from the diorama. Now this is great. I absolutely love this effect. It looks brilliant. Really nice paint job, quite subtle on it, and if you catch it in the right light, it does look really effective. I put her in. I'm still actually working out the best way to pose her in this. So there is the obviously stand behind, so with all the flames coming forward, or I had hooked the leg into it, so she was actually right at the top of the flame as well. A lot more balancing act required on that. So it does sit nicely inside Galactus's palm of his hand as well. So that does sit in there, quite effective as well. You just got to get the balance right on Galactus in the first place, particularly if you're doing the Surfer or anyone else in the other hand. She comes with 3 sets of hands. So she has the splayed open hands, she has fists, and she has these sort of weird grabbing like cup of tea type hands. I don't know why cup of coffee if you're American or Canadian or anywhere else that has coffee. All coffee shops are available everywhere, of course. So she has hands to have a hot beverage. That's my easy get out there. Okay, not too bad. And let's face it, this Haslab was about the big dog. It was about getting the big dog. This is a good addition. I'm planning on my set to have Silver Surfer and Nova in Galactus's hands. That's how I plan to put them in this this cabinet behind me to get them in there. So she will just sit in there. So long as I get a balance right in there, it'll be fine. But again, you sort of know what you're getting with these female figures. It's a bit disappointing when we've already had such a cool Quake Daisy Johnson figure with, you know, fantastic articulation, double knees, double elbows. We could have really done with it on this one, but it was a tier unlock, and it was obviously all about Galactus. So Frankie Nova is okay. Now here's the one I didn't expect to get because I wasn't sure right up until that last minute. It didn't look like every tier was going to get back, but it did, and it smashed through. And Morg. So Morg is a figure that really I'd only seen a lot of that digital render to start with. There was a video that the Hasbro Pulse guys put on where they actually had a actual mold of the character, but I'm actually really impressed with Morg. It's a bigger chunky figure, which I love those type. Moves very well, good articulation. I mean, the knee goes back quite a way. Obviously you've got this lip on the boots, the top of the boots, the cuff on the boots. That's what I was looking for. But it moves quite well. It's got a good, really good twist to it. Coming forward at the belt is obviously, let's move his hand out of the way. They're coming forward at the belt is not the greatest because, as you would expect, you know, that's going to stop the ab crunch down. However, it obviously goes right down from the waist, so that's good. It does go back really well actually, so that's quite good. So you can have him back the axe out. The face is good. I like the look of the face there and the design of the face, and the hair again doesn't affect the articulation. Head moves well, goes around quite well there as well. No extra hands. I've obviously got these gauntlets on. Just comes with his axe. Sits in quite nicely. You can move the fingers. Didn't need to do any warming up on that. You can get the fingers back to get that axe in there. Not a lot of pattern, not a lot of effect on the axe. Maybe done with a little bit sort of weathering, a bit of detail, particularly it's been done so well on other figures in the past. Might do a little bit of that myself on there, as I plan to do with the Terax figure as well. But overall, a really quite impressive figure. I do like him. Again, going to be another great addition to have in with the Heralds in the display. So considering this was a figure that it was all about Galactus, let's face it. I think the value of the Galactus, in sort of, you know, summing up on the Haslab, the value of the Galactus, I was happy to pay that amount for a 32-inch figure with all the articulation, the electronics that come with it, and the interchangeable heads and the faces and everything that comes with Galactus. So I was happy to pay that anyway. To get 3 tier unlocks of 3 figures as well, so the Silver Surfer, Frankie Ray, and the Morg, I had no complaints with that. I wasn't expecting these to be the best figures, but they are good. They're absolutely fine. You know what you're getting with the Surfer. Frankie Ray, unfortunately, it's that other female buck that they've used before, which they really, really wish they'd have used the Daisy Johnson version. But it's okay. The diorama is fantastic that goes with it. And I really like Morg. It's actually quite a cool figure. Moves really well. Nice chunky figure. So overall, quite impressed with those 3. And as a set, with all the other Heralds, it's going to look glorious. And that's it for the time being. Talked about Galactus, talked about the Heralds. I will inevitably come back to them again because there's so much to do, and I'm still very early days with them in terms of playing around with them and posing them and getting used to them and working out where they're going to go and how it's going to look and that sort of thing. But that's it for now. Hope you've enjoyed this look at them. Let me know, are you getting the Galactus? Has it shipped yet? What do you think? Obviously stick that, same with the Heralds, in the comments. Who's your favourite? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those things, and I'll see you again on another video. Bye for now.